this is one of the more interesting things I have wanted to see in person for quite a while. Almost, God, it seems like a year now, right?
Going on maybe 3 years. Yeah.
I'm not going to give it away. You tell us, what are we looking at here?
So what you're looking at is a bolt-on, mostly bolt-on. Like many of the suspension kits, it's 90% bolt-on, and then you want to burn in some brackets and do some welding to increase the strength. So, but it's mostly a bolt-on kit for a JK chassis, and coming soon, the JL and the JT chassis. But it makes your Jeep drive like a UTV. So if you've ever driven a, Polaris or Maverick, or, depending on what your favorite UTV is, Talon is a good example of one. I mean, it's going to make this like an off-road, high speed, and still very capable, slow rock crawling rig.
So is it essentially IFS?
So it is, yeah, it is completely IFS in the front. So it's 100%
yeah,
IFS.
That's what it looks like. That's
and in the rear, it reuses your existing Dana 44 axle.
Okay.
We put a truss on and some new suspension members, but overall, it's just kind of a new kit for the back, but you reuse that portion. And then up front, what you do is you essentially take the guts, the differential, the ring gear, the pinion, and put in a new install bearing set, and it's going to give you your Dana 44 directly into this new aluminum cast housing. And then on the outsides of the aluminum housing are essentially portal axles. So you get a 3-gear portal, and it makes the drive shafts so that they're going all the way across the vehicle, essentially cross car, right? So now you have this really long CV, right? And that allow you to have really long travel, but still you get the advantages of reusing your Dana 44 locker, air locker, whatever is equipped with, if you have that already, or an easier upgrade, right? You keep your hub ends and your brakes from your solid axle, they bolt right onto the new kit, right? So simple there too. You don't have to change your wheel set to an 8-lug, and it's got more strength than a Dana 60.
Now, if you didn't catch all that, let's reiterate a couple things here. You're talking about not upgrading to a 60. You're using the original Dana 44, which most people would be like, well, why? That's going to be your weak point.
Right.
But
with portal axles, with the gear reduction, it reduces all that stress in that drivetrain. And that driveline bind goes away. But so also that driveline loading, hard loading, that snaps your joints, right? So this way, you get RCV axles, which are the best anyway. And if you're going to upgrade, you're going to... Right. So you got RCVs to begin with. So we start with the best. We get a new long shaft, and it just stubs right into there. We build that kit so it's really... you could do it in your garage, right? I mean, most people could do a Dana 60 in their garage too. A little cutting, a little welding, right? Same thing. But this is for the guy that wants to go faster, not slower, right? And you can run 37s, as you can see, and everything clears and tucks perfectly with this kit on both a 4-door and this 2-door. So we'll go take a look at the 4-door also.
Okay. So again, if you're not familiar with like the difference between a Jeep suspension and independent front suspension, there's some big advantages to IFS in terms of especially high-speed handling.
Right.
And that's a biggie. You compare a Jeep and how it handles to, a Toyota Tundra or, the new Bronco or something. Those are going to feel a lot better at those kind of speeds, where a Jeep, well, they're not known for speed.
Hey, they're not made for it. They're amazing at what they are, right? They're built very specifically as the only one in its class that can do what it does. And we're not trying to take that away from it, but not everybody wants that too. Lots of people like to go fast, like to go in the sand dunes, go down to Baja, right? Or absolutely never again, ever have death wobble ever again.
Oh, well, there's that. There's that.
No bump steer, no death wobble, right?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so we're going to go look at something else?
Yeah, we're going to take a couple of shots and then go look at the 4-door.
Okay.
So one really nice thing about this is the Rego kit's designed with a completely new steering setup. So it uses a sliding steering mechanism like trophy trucks, big monster trucks use, a lot of agricultural vehicles use them. It's really simple, but it reuses also your OEM steering box on the frame. So whether you've already upgraded to a PSC or something better, you're just going to reuse that. It's going to have the same Pitman arm, and everything just bolts together on that side. So on the steering side, all new mechanism below the frame, but at the steering box and all the way back is stock. So, okay, so, and then now down here in the back of the Rego kit, you have, again, a bolt-in solution. You have a cross member that bolts onto the rear cross member in place of your trailer hitch, but this could also accommodate a trailer hitch. We're going to work on that, but it gets you this big triangular rear, what's called a reversed triangular mechanism. So you get lower arms and long travel low arms forward of the stock axle. You weld on the truss. The pinion on here does your triangulation, and this travels with the full axle perfectly inside the wheel arch. So, I mean, 100% tuck, probably better than most people get set up on their rigs when they do 60 swaps. And then the coilovers bolt on to the stock locations at the top, and you would just have a reinforcement bracket down here at the bottom.
And this is way cheaper than doing any other type of lift, right?
Well, no,
No.
it's definitely not. It's definitely not. The cost is going to be dead nuts equivalent to a Dana 60 swap front and rear.
Okay.
Without the extra wheel, 8-lug bolt pattern wheel change.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do that one. You just keep it on the 17s you got with the 5-bolt, and everything's just as good and strong as it needs to be on the back end. You're reusing your OEM axle.
I mean, that's the huge savings right there.
Big savings there. So you're buying a lot of kit in the front, and then 1/3 of the kit cost is in the back. And you could do just the front. They have had customers do just the rear. So, and I'm going to talk in a minute about kind of the origin of this kit and how it was derived from a military application.
Now, why are there portals on the front and not on the back?
Well, so the portals on the front really is about getting those shafts down as low as possible and as long as possible, right? So getting them cross-car really allows that scissoring mechanism and allows that travel and the geometry to maximize, right? The other advantage of the portals in the front is you could do a gear change with the portals. So you could change them and just take off the cover and go from 1-to-1 to 3-to-1. And then you can match your rear axle accordingly with a regular ring and pinion gear. And we do have a lot of people asking, okay, but I want a Dana 60 rear or a Sterling rear or some, whatever in the back with a big ring and pinion gear, really strong, and do 8-lugs. Well, we could do that too. You could reuse your stock axle in the back, an 8-lug Dana 60, whatever scenario. And in the front, we could do an 8-lug hub bearing unit and put that right onto the spindle.
So you don't have different wheels front and back.
You don't have different wheels front and back, but you get everything you want, right? That kit's not ready yet. It's been a big ask by a lot of people, and it's probably the biggest opportunity that Rego's looking at right now is in the Toyota world. They're solid axle Land Cruiser 70s, Land Cruiser 80s, and then putting the same kind of kit in the Gladiator and the Wrangler JL, like I said.
Hope that was informative for you. It's something I've wanted to learn a lot more about over probably the last year that you and I have talked about it. I've never seen it in person. I haven't got to drive it yet.
You're gonna. Don't worry. We're gonna go take it for a drive soon.
But yeah, I hope that was entertaining and educational. It's a different approach to doing what a lot of people want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's interesting is seeing some innovation that we've just never seen in the Jeep world before.
Yep. Well, and the good thing is that it's derived from a military application, specifically for driven trailer applications and electric power assist. But this was a guinea pig originally, right? And when we're here in Denver, and we're doing installs in Denver too, so we're having customers call up and contact Rego North America and ask to ship their vehicles here so they can have us install them for them.
Great.
So,
and where's the best place for them to get more info?
So you're going to go to Rego4x4.com. Also find us on Facebook at Rego North America. And if you're familiar with Rob Reed, he's popular in the industry. A lot of people know Rob. He's spearheading this effort, so it's all kind of under his umbrella.
Nice.
So
good hands over there.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate the time.
Yep.